Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We have Craig Burley, Julian Laurent and Shaka Hislop here to answer your questions. And what a question we start with today. It's for you, Craig.
Oh.
Dan has told Frank to put a picture of you on his roof to scare the birds away. In your opinion, who would make the scariest looking scarecrow out of the entire ESPN FC team?
I'm dressed up quite nice.
Not very nice, is it?
Got a tie on.
Dan?
Pocket chief.
Craig without his teeth.
Well, that is
if
true.
If anybody's seen a photo of Craig without his teeth, that will scare crows away, no question.
Yeah, but that was the old days, Shaq.
I know you've addressed it. I'm just saying.
Addressed it. I have my own teeth now, all paid for. I believe.
Have the receipt.
I hope.
Got it.
Why?
Well, it's the size of him, the way he dresses,
Jules.
the dishevelled look of his hair.
Are you going to defend your podcast partner, Jules?
I'm not sure it's defendable, I have to be honest.
Undefendable. I mean, he's only got to wear some of those linen trousers.
What about the knees?
And seeing Gab walk in with moccasins and no socks is not a pretty sight. Not a pretty sight. Trust me. He's sweating up in the paddock, as if he's running at the 2:30 at Wincanton.
As if he's in Shaka's house with no air conditioning. Right.
Definitely Gab, not me.
Gab. Okay, it sounds as though Gab is the answer. For the panel, putting your club biases aside, start, bench or sell these players as the captain for your team. Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, John Terry. I'll start with you, Shaka.
I start Patrick Vieira. I bench Roy Keane. I drop John Terry.
Jules?
Yeah, same as Shaka.
Same.
Said it perfectly.
I'll stick with the midfield. What do you call it? The midfield union. So I'll go start Roy, bench Patrick, drop John Terry.
All right, fair enough. For Jules, if Pepe goes back to Lille on loan like Lukaku did with Inter, which one of those two signings for Chelsea and Arsenal respectively has been the most disappointing overall?
That's a good question. I mean, I think Pepe will go to Nice on loan, not to Lille, but it would have been funny for him to go back to Lille. I guess Lukaku cost another 30 million on top of Pepe, so more than Pepe, sorry. So just the staggering amount of buying someone for 105 million and then letting him go a year later on loan, so typically on a free, to the club that you just bought him for a year before is unbelievable. I don't know if... The thing with Pepe, I think Pepe is very talented. I mean, Lukaku as well, but I felt that maybe Pepe just arrived at the wrong time. I think that if he'd arrived once Arteta had put things in place, let's say like, for example, this summer, and that he was exactly the kind of player that Arteta wanted for the way that he plays, which is not the case right now, I think he would have been much better. He arrived and he was so expensive, and I think that price tag was heavy on him. Then the club was not really functioning well. I don't think it was the right environment for him, especially after that incredible season he had in France just before the transfer. So, I think I would go more for Lukaku maybe, but there's not much in between. I think they were both quite bad acquisitions really when you look at what they gave to those clubs.
All right, talking of midfields then, to Craig, rank these midfield three. Madrid, Kroos, Casemiro, Modric. Barca, Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta. Or Milan, Gattuso, Pirlo, Seedorf.
Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta.
So they're number one.
Oh, I rank them. I don't know how the records stack up with the other two. I don't know. I'm just talking from a football perspective.
Who you'd like to?
Yeah, I mean, I was at that. I was commentating at that 2011 I think it was 2011 Wembley final against Man United. It was. I mean, I saw a pass to Alex Ferguson in the tunnel. I wasn't talking to him. I was just walking down to the media, and he looked. He was going to do his press duties, and he looked shell-shocked at what he'd just seen, because he had a really good team, and they got absolutely wiped off the park in terms of football. I don't know, Gattuso, Seedorf, and who? Pirlo. Help me out. I'll go for them.
You can't win because you're gonna get everybody reminding you how many titles were won.
Well,
that.
No, I can't win because I don't actually care about anybody reminding me. So trust me, for me, all the time it's a win-win. Because it's straight over my head, water off a duck's back. Couldn't give a toss. Couldn't give a toss about people happy or not. I don't know. Seedorf, Gattuso,
And Pirlo.
and Pirlo.
Even though you couldn't remember it was Pirlo.
Well, it wouldn't have been Gattuso. I can remember Gattuso as an 18-year-old playing for Rangers against me in the Old Firm, and he was out there, and he was like, anyone's ever had a Jack Russell on their ankle? It's like you just want to, you try to kick it away. It's like, well, you think what Gattuso was like when he was 25, and then imagine what he was like when he was a teenager, when he was even more raw, and he was even more energetic. Oh. That's what Glasgow does to you.
Do you have an opinion on these ranking the midfielders here, Jules?
Yeah, I think it's quite an interesting one. I mean, you kind of mentioned it, Kay. I think the Modric, Kroos and Casemiro is the most successful midfield in history, of course, with all the Champions League that they won, all the trophies that they won. I think there was something a bit magical about the Busquets, Xavi and Iniesta one. That 2011 final at Wembley that Craig was mentioning, I was there as well. It was like it was poetry, really. And when you think that what Xavi and Iniesta were capable of doing with the ball, and if you add Busquets to it as well, and I think there's something pretty amazing about that. I don't know if you can really choose one and saying, oh, they were better than the others, and the Milan trio was pretty good as well, especially Pirlo in that. The way he played that incredible position. But yeah, for me as well, I think then it's just down to individual preference. But having seen that Barca team, that for me is the greatest club team ever assembled, that Pep Guardiola side, I think for me the Busquets, Xavi and Iniesta one will always be the best midfield triangle in history of club football.
I don't know why I thought of this, but you know, like in you've seen Toy Story?
Yeah.
So you know, like Woody and Buzz Lightyear, they have phrases.
Yeah.
I just wondered if there was a doll made of you and you had to pull the cord at the back. What are the like 3 things that you'd say?
Couldn't give a stuff.
For sure, one of them is couldn't give a
stuff. Muppets, a lot of them.
One more, we need one more.
Muppets, a lot of them. That'd be it.
The two of them.
Muppets, a lot of them.
Something about journos. Something. I hate journos.
Too many John Knows. Too many John Knows.
Right. For Jules,
Bloody John Knows. There's so many. I mean, it's just...
I think we should get a Craig.
Ballon d'Or. No Ballon d'Or.
To get a Craig doll.
A Craig doll? Can you imagine, Jules? You know what he would say? The Club
We
World
got
Cup.
Craig Doll, that doubles as a scarecrow.
There's so many. If you'd honestly, they could make a film. They could make a film. He pulled a bit of string. We're not talking about this again. No.
There'd be too many, wouldn't there?
The Ballon d'Or.
Ballon
There has
d'Or.
to be a line about the Ballon d'Or. I can't give a toss about the Ballon d'Or.
No. Stuff the Ballon d'Or. We don't care. I'm working from home.
Right, Jules.
I'm not doing weekends.
How do people in look what I started? How do people in France rate Lille striker?
Top 10 goals. I don't like goals.
Top 10 goals.
Seen the goals.
They just I just can't.
I'm trying to pull this bit of string. No bit of string here.
Who wants to see highlights?
Highlights. No highlights. Are we starting this show yet?
You can't stop thinking of it.
Yeah, there's a bit
That's something for Sebi.
no. How many segments have we got to do? Shut up, Sebi.
Right.
Dan, keep it simple.
and me.
Tell them that. My arm's sore
Keep it
now.
simple.
My arm's sore now.
All right.
So many.
Jules, how do people rate Jonathan David? Do you think he can be a top striker, and could he be an option for clubs like Chelsea and United?
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that he's still in Lille and that it looks like he's not going to leave this summer, because I thought, and certainly at the end of last season, there were a lot of clubs, especially in England, who were clearly keeping a close look, whatever, who were keeping tabs on him. Let's put it that way. Sorry, it's the Craig. It's the Craig sentences that threw me. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised he's still there. Keep it simple, Jude. Because I thought he, in a way, earned the move, because clearly 2022 was a very good year for him. Has been a really good year for him. 2021 was a very good year, and then he finished the season strongly. So I thought it was maybe a good time, but maybe some clubs, especially the top ones, want to give him a bit more time in France, which I don't think is a bad idea. And he started really well the season already, and I think there's potential if he has a really good season with Lille again. And I think Paulo Fonseca, who's kind of replaced him, moved him a little bit more on the right-hand side when they don't have the ball, and then he can come inside and almost play as a second striker with the ball, which I think can suit him well. I think Fonseca can do some really good work with him. He can have another very good season, and then I think it would be time for him to go and to come to England. And then I'm sure big English clubs will be after him, because he's got the talent, he's got the attitude, the personality as well, and I think he's got all the attributes to do well in England.
Going to start answering in cliches now. That's it. little short burst cliches. Bang.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not doing the arm though. Anyway, I've got a sore arm now.
For Dr. Shaka, what was your favourite moment playing in the Premier League?
Oh, favourite moment. I'm probably going to say, rather than a moment, the 98-99 season with West Ham, where we finished fifth. That was first season at West Ham, and I don't think I've enjoyed a season of football as much as I did that one.
That's a nice one.
Doctor, what's all that about?
Honorary doctorate.
I like the ring. I like the ring of that.
A doctorate of time off. That's what he's a doctorate of.
Well, that time is up on the latest edition of Extra Time. We're going to go and pitch the Craig doll to whoever's
nasty doll.
interested.
The nasty doll. I want it to be looking nasty as well.
Yep.
No teeth.
And
Each of us get royalties. Each of us
well, no,
have
that
to
would
get
be
a
one of
share
the
of
accessories that
royalties.
you can buy, so you can clip the teeth in sometimes. Oh my goodness, let's go. Big weekend ahead. Make sure you join us across the weekend.
It had some
ESPN
credibility
FC.
up to that point.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.